Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, June the 18th. My name is Barry Ainerson. This is the address to get into the room. You can log in as a guest or you can use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Well, I've just returned from a week in Spain. I was in Madrid for a week and I got back late last night, so pretty tired still, but so actually I was kind of happy that today was FOMC day. The minutes were released at 2 p.m. And typically on these days, the market can be very, very slow, especially after the first hour. And really for me anyway, this was no exception. But let's take a look at, I did do four trades today, and the first one was CSX. And CSX came from the break of the 20-day high strategy that I've been using. And I took the trade right here. Now, the 20-day high break is at 30.51, and I took the trade at 30.53. Now, a lot of times when I take this sort of a trade, my stop is going to be the high, the 20-day high, which would have been at 30.51. But because the low of the day was not that far away, it was only at 30.40, I was going to give this one a little more room. And so I took the trade at 30.43 and watched it come down to this level here. Didn't quite hit the my stop at 30.40. It came back up, and right here I thought, well, maybe now it'll start to run a bit. But at this point when it didn't, and we're now into almost 2 hours into the market, and I decided just to exit the trade for pennies at 30.56, and it came coming down again. And you can see right here, and I'll show you the SPY a little bit later, but you can see right here is all the consolidation really when most of the market was really doing nothing. And this is when the SPY, the minutes were released, and you can see that it had the spurt, a little bit of down, and then up. But typically, I do not trade when I'm in a trade. If it's about half an hour, 40, 15, at least 15 minutes before the FOMC is going to be released, I generally get out of the trade. So let me just take a look at the next trade was SWN, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. SWN, Southwestern Energy. Now here was the break of the 20-day high at 46.78, and I took the trade right in this area here at 46.80. And look at this consolidation when virtually nothing happened at all. And I told the room that if nothing was going to happen, there's no way I was going to keep this trade going into FOMC. I mean, had I done it, yes, it obviously, it looks like it's trying to break through 47, but it's still nothing that dramatic. But this is what I mean, what happens. Let's take a look at the SPY. And again, these are 5-minute charts. And you can see right here is when the FOMC minutes were released. So look at I mean, there was a big sell-off and then a top here, and then the next, these are 5-minute candles again, and then looking like it was going to try to sell off, and then the buyers just really stepped in, ramped it up, and now it really hasn't looked back. Again, SPY, the unstoppable SPY, had a little bit of a pullback here, but really nothing. But my point is this, is that when I'm in a trade, I'm usually going to get out of the trade right around here before this all happens because you you just don't know. Anybody who says they do know, I'm not going to say they're lying, but nobody can possibly know what is going to happen. And this could have just continued down. So in this particular case with Southwestern Energy, yeah, right around here is when I got out of it because it was just consolidating and it could have just as easily really taken a big drop based on whatever those minutes had said. So I'm just a careful, cautious trader when it comes to things like that. I don't need the aggravation of having to wonder what might happen. So that was SWN. Now another trade I took was ATU. Now ATU didn't come on any out of the strategies that happened during the day, but you can see right here that ATU this is where it closed on Monday, and it gapped way down. And this came in my pre-market strategies that I take a look at. So I was already going to be watching this one to see what might happen to it, and actually hope for some kind of a bounce. So actually, when this happened here, this is 34.82 and this is 35. So a little bit of consolidation in this area here. And then when it popped up above the whole number, I decided to take the trade and thought it had a decent chance. The market wasn't bad, and I thought it had a decent chance of maybe, who knows, a continuation and maybe try to fill some of that gap. But it didn't happen, and I exited the trade for a 10-cent loss at 34.96. And I can see, the market still has another half an hour or so, and it's really done nothing. I will probably, not probably, I'm going to watch this one tomorrow to see whether or not, if it can close above 35 and doesn't gap too much in the morning, to see if it wants to fill this gap. It's about a dollar gap that it might fill. So I will certainly watch that one tomorrow. The last trade I did was ROC, and this was a bit of I guess I'm going to call this a bit of a practice trade for me. Actually, ROC was posted in the room by another one of the posters, and actually wanted my opinion on it right around this area here as a bounce play. And I had said, well, if it could get above 73.55, then it might be good. But right here, it obviously just came. It didn't collapse, but it dropped another dollar. But it held the whole number right here. Definitely held the number. And so I was watching it, and when it did this, I decided to take the trade at 73.68. Now, one of the reasons I did this was more of a bit of a test for me, because while I was away, my brokerage platform introduced finally bracketed orders. And so I just wanted to test it. And so what I did was I literally bought the stock at 73.68, and I put a stop in at 73.60 and a sell target of 73.95. So in case you don't know what I mean by a bracketed order, I mean, a lot of the platforms you can only put one order in. You can put your sell order in or your buy order. But what I was able to do is again put two orders in for the same stock. So sell it if it got to 73.95, or sell it if it got down to 73.60. So pretty good. I chose 73.95 and 73.60 as good risk return. It's about three. I think it worked out to about 3.33, and it was pretty lucky because 73.95 was almost the high of the day. During the normal market hours at any rate. So I was able to it executed the trade right at 73.95, and so it took me out. So that was a good one. I will definitely be looking a little bit, putting bracketed orders in tend to take the emotion out of a lot of trades, and especially if a trade is fairly, like a stock is fairly liquid, you just set one of your targets. I don't have to sell it all at a certain price, but if it goes, it's nice to be able to put in a profit target and also put your stop loss in at the same time. And a lot of I know, I mean, TradeStation and a lot of the major brokerage platforms, of course, they do that. But I'm up in Canada, and this has been promised to us in this particular platform for quite a while, and so I just wanted to see how it worked, and it certainly worked out very well. So that's it for today for the trades. I'll get a little more sleep today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be a little more active. Certainly, you don't have to worry about the FOMC, and just have to see what happens. So I'll just bring back the cover page, and this is again how to get into the trading room. And I hope to see you in the room tomorrow, which is Thursday.